show. This morning in the Buzz, with everything that's been going on in Hollywood, South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford's affair has been kept somewhat quiet. It actually, we were all kind of joking a little bit.
It all died down, and you would have thought this guy would have gotten on his knees and thanked God that some of these other maladies had happened and taken the spotlight off of him.
Yeah.
Exactly. But no!
But no, because Sanford has now laid out all the details of his affair to the Associated Press. Some of the highlights from the article. He's now gone on to tell about other encounters with his Argentine, quote, soulmate, Maria Belén Shapur. Sanford says he saw Shapur 5 times over the past year, including 2 romantic multi-night stays with her in New York, one in Manhattan, one in the Hamptons, both paid for in cash so that no one would know. He says he insists that he can fall back in love with his wife, Jenny, even as he witnesses his own political funeral, as he calls it. And he says, I don't want to blow up the kids' lives. I don't want to blow up 20 years what we've invested. But if I'm completely honest, there are still feelings in the way. If we keep pushing it this way, we get those to die off. But they're still there, and they're still real.
This guy is brazen.
You know, he also, I mean, he's saying some things.
What else does he say?
Well, he's saying some things that could be really detrimental to the recovery of his marriage, including that he's saying, I will be able to die knowing that I'd met my soulmate, and, you know, lots of things that seemingly are in the way. The other thing that he's been saying, I read the article, and the other thing that he said is he talks about that he has been inappropriate with other women at different times, claiming that he never crossed the ultimate line.
Oh, that's okay. That makes it okay.
But that he has been inappropriate before. But it's kind of nonsensical as to why he might say this. I think what he's trying to do is tell the public, listen, this isn't just some dalliance. This isn't some fly-by-night floozy. This is my soulmate. So all the other women who I had affairs with in the past or was inappropriate with in the past, this is a different woman. But I really want to prepare my marriage.
Planting the seed for the book deal right now.
But what does that have to do? This is not the dalliance that some may think this is my soulmate. What in the world does that have to do with destroying your family?
Yeah.
Your wife's been there by your side. I'm not inside the marriage, but she's been there for 20 years for you. She bore you 4 children.
Yeah.
And for nothing else, you should be selflessness enough to keep your mouth shut and not drag your family through this just tragic, awful innuendo, just slime.
It is slime.
And it is boggling my mind, which leads me to believe that maybe this guy needs some psychiatric help, because there are certain people in our business, politicians included, that cannot afford to stay out of the spotlight, no matter how negative it is.
Yeah. They just, they crave it. They need it.
It's like a drug.
Blagojevich is another
one.
Well,
it's funny you mention that, because I was going to bring up the parallel. I mean, it's Rod Blagojevich with a sex twist.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, I just don't get it.
I don't understand it either. I know that people are talking about this. I mean, certainly it's been newsroom fodder as we've been going over some of the articles and the things that he's been saying. But I've been curious from Courtney Caligari to know if people are talking about it on the blog right now.
Absolutely, they are. And we're all kind of saying the same thing. It just doesn't really make any sense at this point, but we're going to keep them reading the articles on our website. But this one's from Lisa, and she believes situations like this can affect their work, but they need to keep them separate. And this one is from another blogger, and says even if he feels that way, why would he say that if he's planning to stay with his wife anyway? He should just keep it to himself. And that's going off of him talking about the woman being his soulmate but wanting to stay with his wife. But we do have a poll here on FoxProvidence.com, and we're asking, do you think what politicians do in their private lives affects their work? And your choices are A, yes, private lives can be a distraction, or B, no, not if they can keep them separate. So you can weigh in there. And also on our Facebook page, we have one comment so far. This one's from James, and he says, no, it is their lives. It won't affect their work unless their private lives are all about drugs. So that is where he stands, and you guys can log on any of those to weigh in and let us know what you think. But I'll be back in 30 minutes with your poll results.